Long before our age of satellites and screens, humanity once wrote with fire, clay, and stars. Knowledge wasn't stored in clouds. It was carved into stone, sung in hymns, or hidden in temples. But power has always feared memory, and across the ancient world, whole libraries vanished, not by accident, but by design. The greatest ideas in history were not lost. They were buried. And today, we're going to find them. This is Sethtra Books, and these are the books that were never supposed to exist. The lost knowledge of the ancient world. In a time when men bowed to gods and kings, one book dared to say that everything, heaven, earth, and spirit, came from a single source. They called it the Emerald Tablet. No one knows who wrote it. Some say it was Hermes Trismegistus, half man, half myth, the bridge between Egyptian priests and Greek philosophers. On a single green stone it declared, "As above, so below." Those 4 words became the seed of alchemy, science, and spirituality combined. Empires rose trying to possess it. Churches banned it. Yet every scientist who searched for truth eventually rediscovered what Hermes wrote, that everything in the universe mirrors everything else. Further down the Nile, in scrolls buried beneath broken tombs, another text whispered of impossible things. It was the Book of Thoth, a record said to hold the speech of the gods. Egyptian priests claimed it could command nature itself. Pharaohs feared it, scholars hunted it, conquerors stole fragments. It was said that whoever read it understood the language of the universe and the danger of knowing too much. Centuries later, in the deserts of Judea, shepherds stumbled upon clay jars holding the Dead Sea Scrolls. They had been hidden for 2,000 years, wrapped in linen, sealed in silence. Inside were ancient scriptures, hymns, and prophecies lost since the dawn of Christianity. They changed what the world knew about religion, rewriting the boundaries between myth, faith, and history. Someone wanted these texts forgotten, but time protected them better than any empire ever could. Before Christianity or Islam, in the city of Uruk, scribes pressed reeds into wet clay. Those marks formed the Epic of Gilgamesh, the world's first story. It told of kings who sought immortality, floods that reset creation, and gods who grew weary of man's arrogance. When archaeologists uncovered the tablets in the 19th century, they realized the flood myth predated Noah by 1,000 years. Every civilization retold the same truth, that power without humility leads to water, to cleansing, to starting over. In India, sages sat beneath banyan trees and recited verses for centuries before they were ever written down. Those verses became the Vedas, the spiritual DNA of the East. They spoke of atoms, sound vibrations, medicine, astronomy, and the very fabric of existence. Modern scientists were astonished. How could a 4,000-year-old text describe ideas that would only be proven in quantum physics? Perhaps it wasn't prophecy. Perhaps it was memory, wisdom carried from an age older than we remember. In Greece, knowledge wore marble masks, but much of what the Greeks discovered was already known in Egypt, Babylon, and India. The philosopher Pythagoras spent years in temples studying numbers that vibrated with the rhythm of creation. He returned home transformed, carrying fragments of the same secrets that would one day inspire Plato's Timaeus and Aristotle's physics. History credits the Greeks, but the Greeks credited the gods. And then, silence. A fire swept through Alexandria, one of the greatest tragedies of the ancient world. The Library of Alexandria, hundreds of thousands of scrolls from every known civilization, reduced to smoke. Inside were the missing chapters of science, astronomy, and medicine. Some say the fire was an accident. Others say it was an act of control, a way to erase ideas that challenged authority. But the truth is simpler. No one ever burns knowledge unless it threatens power. Far away in Central America, another civilization carved wisdom into bark paper. The Maya codices recorded astronomy so precise that modern scientists still marvel at their calendar. But when Spanish missionaries arrived, they called them demonic. They burned thousands of books in the plazas of Yucatan, turning centuries of cosmic study into ash. Only 3 codices survived, each one now locked in glass, silent witnesses to a world that once knew how the stars breathe. Meanwhile, in Europe's Middle Ages, monks copied books by candlelight. They wrote what was allowed, erased what was forbidden. Yet rumors persisted of hidden grimoires, of lost atlases of energy, of manuscripts that described medicine from Egypt and machines from China. One such text appeared centuries later, the Voynich Manuscript. No one could read it. Its alphabet was unknown, its diagrams strange, its plants unrecognizable. Some said it came from another world. Others believed it was the memory of a forgotten one. Even today, AI can't fully decode it. It remains the only book in history that still protects its own secrets. In Mesopotamia, archaeologists unearthed the Enuma Elish, the Babylonian creation story. It described a cosmic ocean, a battle of chaos and order, and the formation of planets from collision. It was written thousands of years before any telescope existed, and yet somehow it understood the mathematics of motion. We call it myth. But myths were often how ancient scientists wrote truth safely, because calling it a story was safer than calling it science. In China, before the Great Wall was finished, the philosopher Lao Tzu wrote a small book of paradoxes called the Tao Te Ching. He disappeared soon after, leaving only 81 verses that contain the entire operating system of harmony. Its words about emptiness, flow, and balance predicted both quantum physics and the psychology of peace. It became the quiet book that guided billions, never banned, yet always misunderstood. And then there were the lost books of metal, rumored Atlantean records engraved on plates, said to lie beneath the sea. From Plato to modern explorers, the myth of a hidden archive continues. Perhaps the ancients didn't lose everything. Perhaps they hid it, waiting for humanity to mature enough to read again. Every civilization has the same story. A time of light, a fall into darkness, a rediscovery. The fire of Alexandria becomes the flood of Mesopotamia, becomes the colonization of the Maya, becomes the deletion of digital archives today. The pattern never changed. Only the medium did. So, what happened to all these lost books? Maybe nothing. Maybe they live quietly inside every rediscovery we make. Every telescope, every microscope, every spiritual teaching is just humanity remembering itself. Knowledge is never lost. It only changes form until the next reader is ready. That's why these books matter. They remind us that civilization isn't built by inventors. It's rebuilt by rememberers. Every time we burn, bury, or ban a text, we're really burying a part of our own evolution. But the earth never forgets. It stores the truth under sand, under sea, under skin. And one day, a shepherd, a monk, or an ordinary soul will find it again and call it a miracle. This is Sethtra Books, where we rescue wisdom from oblivion, one forbidden page at a time. Subscribe, reflect, and remember. The next great discovery might already be in your hands. Learn, reflect, rise.